students. Yesterday we have started our important chapter, that is light. And up to this moment we have clear what is exactly the meaning of light. What is meant by optics? What about the ray optics or geometrical optics? And what about the wave optics or physical optics? And after that we have clear there are so many theories of the light developed by different scientists. And in last lecture we have completed Newton's corpuscular theory and Huygens wave theory. Now today we are going to study one of the important concept, that is Maxwell's theory. Maxwell's theory, or we can say electromagnetic theory of the light. So what is the Maxwell's theory or what is the electromagnetic theory? Remember that this theory also supports the wave nature of light. This theory also supports the wave nature of light, or in other words we can say that this is the theory developed by Maxwell on the basis of Huygens wave theory. Means in short, this is the modification of Huygens wave theory, and it has been proposed by the scientist Maxwell in 1873. First theory was developed by Newton in 1675. Huygens theory was developed by Christian Huygens in 1678. And now this is the theory proposed by the scientist Maxwell in 1873. And it is just the modification of Huygens wave theory. So question maybe arises in your mind, how it is the modification of Huygens wave theory? Because in last lecture we have seen, according to Huygens wave theory, light propagate in the form of wave. Light propagate in the form of wave. But in the drawbacks of Huygens theory we have cleared, Huygens could not explain whether the light is a transverse wave or longitudinal wave. Also, one more drawback of Huygens theory was there. What was the drawback? One more drawback of Huygens theory was there, that is how light can propagate through the vacuum. How light can propagate through the vacuum. Okay, Huygens has assumed that there is a hypothetical medium in the vacuum called as a luminiferous ether medium. But exactly such medium is not there. Practically, he did not prove that medium. So in order to overcome these drawbacks, Maxwell suggested that light is a wave, but it is electromagnetic wave having transverse nature. Within the single point, he has overcome the two drawbacks. According to Maxwell, light is a electromagnetic wave. Light is a electromagnetic wave having transverse nature. So do you know what is meant by electromagnetic wave? Dear student, you should know there are two types of wave. One is called as a mechanical wave and another is called as a electromagnetic wave. So mechanical wave is the wave which required material medium for its propagation is called as a mechanical wave. Listen me carefully. What is mechanical wave? The wave which required material medium for its propagation is called as a mechanical wave. For example, sound wave. See here, sound wave is a mechanical wave because you cannot hear my sound if there is no medium in between the source of sound and listener. You are hearing my sound due to only the medium present between us, that is nothing but the air medium. Remember, and those waves which require the material medium for their propagation are called as a mechanical wave. And the wave which does not require the material medium for their propagation are called as electromagnetic wave. Remember? So according to Maxwell, light is an electromagnetic wave. Light is an electromagnetic wave and does not require the material medium for its propagation. And that is the reason why light can propagate through the vacuum also. Is it clear? Then question maybe arises in your mind, how that electromagnetic wave travels, or why it is called so? Why it is called electromagnetic wave? Remember? See here. Why it is called electromagnetic wave? Look at this. This is the figure of electromagnetic wave. Okay, electro and magnetic. These are the two different interactions. Remember my student, when the light wave is passing through the air or passing through any medium or passing through the vacuum, then it develops the electrical field as well as magnetic field along its path. And these two fields, electrical field and magnetic field, are mutually perpendicular to each other. Let us here look at this. Here this is one of the field. Is it clear? See here. Look at this. This is one of the field and this is another field. This is the electrical field. Let us here. This is the electrical field and here this is the magnetic field. Means if we consider, look at this, these two fingers. If this is the direction of electrical field, then this is the direction of magnetic field. Have you got? These two are mutually perpendicular to each other. And that is the reason why it is called as an electromagnetic wave. Means in an electromagnetic wave, when such wave is passing through the medium, it develops electrical field as well as magnetic field in the path. And both of these fields are mutually perpendicular to each other. And also remember that these two fields are mutually perpendicular to each other as well as these are perpendicular to the propagation of the light, propagation of the wave. Means here, look at this. Look at the directions. See here, this is the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of electric field, and this is the direction of propagation. This is the direction of propagation, means light is travel along this direction. Is it clear? Light is travel along this direction. What is this? This is the direction of magnetic field. See here, this is the direction of magnetic field and B bar. B bar means it is the strength of magnetic field. It is called as a magnetic induction. Okay, and one more there, that is nothing but the electrical field. So this is the direction of electrical field. Electrical field is denoted by vector E bar. E bar means electrical intensity. Means in order to study the light, three vectors are important. One is a magnetic field vector, another is a electrical field vector, and third one is the velocity vector, that is the speed of the light. Is it clear? And all these are perpendicular to each other. Look at these three fingers. Okay, these three fingers, this is middle finger, this is forefinger, and this is thumb. If I stretch in this way, then these three fingers are mutually perpendicular to each other. Means if this finger denotes the direction of magnetic induction or magnetic field, this finger denotes the direction of electrical field, or we can say electrical intensity, then what is this? Forefinger denotes the direction of velocity, direction of speed of the light. Have you got? So see here, look at this again. Again, this is the direction of propagation. Light will travel along this direction. And what is this? This is the direction of electrical field. And what is this? This is the direction of magnetic field. Means you might have been seen x-axis, y-axis and z-axis in order to represent the 3D figures, 3D bodies, three-dimensional bodies, like that here. Okay, these three vectors are exactly perpendicular to each other, mutually perpendicular to each other, and that is the special characteristic of electromagnetic wave. Whatever may be the electromagnetic wave, in that electromagnetic wave there are three vectors. One is a electrical vector, another is a magnetic vector, third is a velocity vector, or we can say direction of propagation, and all are perpendicular to each other. Okay, this is the picture of electromagnetic wave. So what is light? Light is a electromagnetic wave. Remember, we have seen it is a modification of Huygens wave theory, and it was proposed by Maxwell in 1873. Then another one, light propagates in the form of electromagnetic wave having transverse nature. Remember, having transverse nature. Transverse nature means yesterday we have seen such type of wave is called as a transverse wave. See here, such type of wave is called as a transverse wave. So light is an electromagnetic wave, but what is the nature of the light? It is a transverse wave. Is it clear? Remember. Now question arises, how many electromagnetic radiations are there? How many electromagnetic radiations are there? Remember, all electromagnetic radiations are not called as the light rays. But here there is one of the spectrum in that electromagnetic radiation that is called as a light rays. And what is that spectrum? That is the spectrum which is visible to the human eyes. It's called as a light. Means there are so many electromagnetic radiations, and among that radiation there is only one spectrum having the range of wavelength 4000 angstrom unit to 7000 angstrom unit, and that much spectrum is called as a visible radiation, or that is called as a light. Means, let us here look at this. Look at this. There are so many radiations. There are so many light radiations like that. Look at this. So, if we take wavelength, on this, then remember that suppose here wavelength is 0. Look at this. Here that is 4000 angstrom unit. Okay. Then 5000, 6000, 7000. Let this is 7000 angstrom unit. Okay. And after that, above the 7000. Means here we can say in that much region, wavelength. Yesterday we have seen wavelength denoted by lambda. Lambda is less than 4000 angstrom unit. Do you know angstrom unit? Remember, student, angstrom unit means it is the unit of distance, and 1 angstrom unit means 10 raised to minus 10 meter. 1 angstrom unit means 10 raised to minus 10 meter. So remember that the electromagnetic radiation having wavelength less than 4000 angstrom unit are called as ultraviolet light. UVL. We know that UV radiations. पहा, आपल्या घरामध्ये त्या ठिकाणी केंटचं जर आपण वॉटर प्युरिफायर बसवलेलं असेल, वॉटर फिल्टर बसवलेलं असेल, तर तुम्ही हा शब्द ऐकला असेल, UV radiations, IR radiations. Is it clear? UV radiation means ultraviolet. Means these are the electromagnetic wave having wavelength less than 4000 angstrom unit, called as ultraviolet. Okay, those radiations whose wavelength is greater than 7000 angstrom unit are called as infrared radiations, IR radiations, infrared. Got it? And the electromagnetic waves having wavelength in between 4000 angstrom unit to 7000 angstrom unit. See here, lambda is greater than 4000 angstrom unit. See here, 4000 angstrom unit and less than 7000 angstrom unit. Okay, these are called as a visible radiation, or visible radiation is also called as a light. Visible radiations are also called as a light. Remember that. So that light having the wavelength 4000 angstrom unit is nothing but the violet light, and the light having 7000 angstrom unit wavelength is nothing but the red light. Okay, violet is the first color of visible light, red is the last color of visible light. Is it clear? And yesterday I told you what are the different color: VIB, GYOR. V for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, and R for red. Vibgor means these are the visible electromagnetic radiations, or we can say this is nothing but the light. Okay, so what is my question? All electromagnetic radiations, all electromagnetic waves are not the light waves. Only that electromagnetic waves having wavelength greater than 4000 angstrom unit and less than 7000 angstrom unit are called as a light. And those electromagnetic waves having wavelength less than 4000 angstrom unit are called as ultraviolet light, and those electromagnetic waves having wavelength greater than 7000 angstrom unit are called as infrared light, infrared radiations. Is it clear? So in short, what is light? According to Maxwell, light is an electromagnetic wave having transverse nature. Is it clear? Electromagnetic wave, that's why light does not require the material medium for its propagation, because electromagnetic wave does not require the material medium. Then remember that Here, when light is propagated through the medium or propagated through the vacuum, it develops the two different fields around it. One is the electrical field and another is a magnetic field. And here, these two fields are perpendicular to each other, as well as these are mutually perpendicular to the propagation of light or velocity of the light. Is it clear? Then in the electromagnetic radiations, there are different electromagnetic wave, different electromagnetic radiations depending upon their wavelength. Have you got it? Now remember that question arises, is it the perfect theory? No, because this theory support the wave nature of light, and on the basis of all this theory explain all the concept like the reflection, refraction, double refraction, interference and diffraction also. But again, this theory, Maxwell's theory, fails to explain the concept. Maxwell's theory fails to explain the concept like the photoelectric effect. This is the concept of modern physics, or quantum effect, or this theory would not explain the concept like polarization of light. Is it clear? And that is also the drawback of this Maxwell's theory. Have you got it? This is about the Maxwell's theory of the light. In last lecture, we have seen Newton's corpuscular theory and Huygens wave theory. Now, this is another one called as a Maxwell's theory. Remember. See here. Now, next theory. What is the next theory? Number 4, it is called as a Planck's theory or quantum theory of light. Planck's theory or quantum theory of light. So, this is another important theory of the light. So, what are the important features of the Planck's theory, or what are the important features of the quantum theory? Remember that this theory again support the particle nature of light. Newton's corpuscular theory support the particle nature of the light. After that, Huygens theory support the wave nature of light. Then Maxwell's theory also support the wave nature of light. And this is theory again it support the particle nature of light. मतलब लाइट क्या है? कुछ साइंटिस्ट बोल रहे लाइट पार्टिकल्स है, कुछ साइंटिस्ट बोल रहे लाइट वेव है. Okay, so this is another theory which support the particle nature of the light. And this theory was proposed by the scientist Einstein on the basis of Planck's quantum theory. Remember, this theory was proposed by the scientist Albert Einstein on the basis of Planck's quantum theory. So question arises, what is Planck's quantum theory? Let us hear what are important features. Number 1, light consists of extremely small energetic particles. Light consists of extremely small energetic particles, or we can say bundles of energy or packets of energy called as photon. Called as photon. P-H-O-T-O-N. Not proton. Photon. According to this theory, light consists of extremely small energetic particles or bundles of energy or packets of energy called as photon or quanta. Okay, quanta, plural form. If single particle is there, quantum. Is it clear? So according to this theory, light consists of extremely small but energetic particles or bundles of energy or packets of energy, and all these particles are called as photons or quanta or singular quantum. So question arises, how much energy is there with that quantum? Okay, so according to this theory, energy associated to each photon is directly proportional to its frequency. What is this? This is the Greek letter called as a nu. Okay, and this is for frequency. This is for frequency. Let us here look at this. Light again consists of energetic particles. These are the energetic particles. These are the photons. See here, these are the photons or quantums. Okay, and how much energy is there associated to each photon? Energy directly proportional to frequency. Okay, so wavelength and frequency, these are the two important parts of the wave. These are two important concepts related to wave. Okay, so what is meant by frequency? Frequency nothing but number of cycles or number of waves completed in unit time, that is in 1 second, is called frequency. So according to this theory, energy associated to each photon is directly proportional to its frequency. Let us hear. Energy directly proportional to frequency. This letter is the Greek letter called as a nu. How to read it? Nu. Okay. And this is the notation for frequency of the flow, frequency of the current. Is it clear? See here. So, in order to remove the proportionality sign, we have to add the constant. And the scientist Planck has also added one constant, that is h. So, equation becomes E equal to h into nu. E equal to h into nu. What is this? This is the energy linked with single photon, single quantum. Okay, what is h? H is called as a Planck's constant. H is called as a Planck's constant. And what is the value of that Planck's constant? He has suggested that its value is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules second. Minus 34 joules second, or it is 4.136 into 10 raised to minus 15 electron volt. What is electron volt? This is smallest unit of energy. Remember, electron volt is the smallest unit of energy. Have you got it? Let us see here. So, this is very, very important equation. How to find the energy of single photon? देखो बच्चों, ये थ्योरी में हमने अभी तक क्या देखा है? This theory support the particle nature. Okay, light consists of extremely small energetic particles or bundles of energy, packets of energy called as a photon or quantum. Okay, and this theory was proposed by the scientist Albert Einstein. Is it clear? And energy associated to each photon is directly proportional to its frequency. Or here E is equal to h nu, because you might have been studied in mathematics. In order to remove the proportionality sign, we have to add any constant. So he has added one constant, that is h. And what is the name of that constant? Obviously, it was added by the scientist Planck. That's why called as a Planck's constant. And he has also suggested that value. What is value of that Planck's constant? 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Is it clear? Let us look at this figure. This figure also shows that these are the different beams consist of small particles called as a photon. Okay, now see here. So what was the first point that I have already explained? It was proposed by Einstein on the basis of Planck's quantum theory. Then according to this theory, light propagates in the form of packets or bundles of energy called as photon, and energy associated to each photon is equal to h into nu. Now another point. Again question arises, is it a perfect theory? Answer is no, because by using the particle nature, this theory explains all that concept which have been not explained by the Maxwell or Huygens. Which are these concepts? That may be polarization of light, that may be the photoelectric effect, Compton effect, the concept of modern physics. This theory explains all these concepts, but again fails to explain the concept like interference of light, diffraction of light, okay, double refraction of light, and these are the drawbacks of this theory. See here. म्हणजे जे मॅक्सवेल्स थेरीने एक्सप्लेन केलं होतं ते या थेरीला एक्सप्लेन करता आलं नाही, आणि जे मॅक्सवेल्स थेरीला एक्सप्लेन करता आलं नाही ते मात्र या थेरीने काय केलं? एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे. पहा म्हणजे काय? नोबडी इज परफेक्ट. जे पॉइंट मॅक्सवेल एक्सप्लेन करता आले नाही ते आइन्स्टाईनने एक्सप्लेन केले, आणि जे मॅक्सवेलने एक्सप्लेन केले ते मात्र आइन्स्टाईनला एक्सप्लेन करता आले नाही. मीन्स out of these four theories, not a single theory is exactly perfect. Okay? और ऐसी कंडीशन में हम देखते हैं, अगर कोई स्टेट में, अगर कोई कंट्री में कोई एक सिंगल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को अगर मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिलता है तो गवर्नमेंट कैसे फॉर्म होती है? गवर्नमेंट कैसे फॉर्म होती है? अलायंस. इज इट क्लियर? एंड देयरफॉर अगेन that Maxwell and Einstein made the alliance in order to develop another theory which is called as modern theory or dual nature of light. Fifth theory, modern theory or dual nature of light. Is it clear? खाली पार्टिकल नेचर से हर एक फिनोमेनन एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया जा सकता है. खाली वेव थ्योरी से हर एक फिनोमेनन एक्सप्लेन करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. और इसी के कारण ये दोनों कॉन्सेप्ट कंबाइन करके एक नया थ्योरी बनाया गया, उसे क्या कहा, मॉडर्न थ्योरी और ड्यूअल नेचर ऑफ लाइट. So remember that what are the important features of that dual nature of the light, or what are the important features of modern theory of the light. So this theory support both the nature, particle nature as well as wave nature. Is it clear? Means here according to this theory, light propagate in the form of electromagnetic wave having transverse nature, but it consists of extremely energetic particles, bundles of energy, packets of energy called as a photons or quantum. Is it clear? So look at the first point. Light has a dual nature, that is wave nature as well as particle nature. This is one. Now another concept. What is second concept? Wave nature was accepted to explain the reflection, refraction, interference and diffraction. See here, in order to explain some concept of the light like interference of light, diffraction of light, refraction of light, reflection of light, which nature is supposed to be considered? Wave nature. And particle nature was accepted to explain the concept like the photoelectric effect, Compton effect, then polarization of light. It means that what is next point? Wave nature become dominant when light interact with light. Remember, wave nature become dominant when light interact with light, and particle nature become dominant when light interact with particles. Have you got it? See here, wave nature become dominant when light interact with light, and particle nature become dominant when light interact with the particle. Okay, so dual nature of the light successfully explain each and every concept related to the light. So that may be reflection, that may be refraction, double refraction, interference, diffraction, or that may be polarization, photoelectric effect, Compton effect, etc. So this is the perfect theory which explain all the concept of the light. Any doubt here? Have you got each and every point? Today we have discussed about the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, another one Planck's quantum theory, and third one, that is the dual theory, or we can say modern theory of the light. See here, so all these are the 5 different theories of the light. In last lecture we have explained 2 theories, and in this lecture we have explained how many theories? 3 different theories. I think each and every point related to all these theories cleared. Okay? So any problem? No doubt. We shall stop here. Thank you.